issue with super market updates today. In response to U.S. dissatisfaction, fintechs responded, there are good reasons to downgrade the credit rating. On August 1st local time, the international rating agency Fitch downgraded the default rating of long-term foreign currency issuers in the U.S. from AAA to A+, which is the second credit rating in the history of the U.S. The White House and several admission officials have expressed the pressure. In response, Fitch responded on the 2nd that it downgraded the U.S. credit rating in view of factors such as deterioration of the U.S. government's fiscal situation in the next 3 years, the expectation of an increase in the overall debt burden, and the deterioration of governance reflected in the political impasse on the debt ceiling. Shortly after Fitch's decision to resign, the White House and several administration officials expressed this pressure. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen refuted Fitch's rating in a statement minutes after it released its rating, calling Fitch's actions arbitrary and totally unjustified. Yellen also said Fitch's quantitative rating model collapsed from 2018 to 2020. Many economic indicators were not adjusted, and the agency's decision was based on outdated data. White House Press Secretary John Pierre called Fitch's judgment disregarding reality. In response, Fitch's sovereign rating senior manager John Francis responded on the 2nd that the proportion of the U.S. debt to GDP is as high as 13%, and this ratio has been rising. In recent years, the Republican administration have been constantly cutting taxes, while the Democratic Party have greatly expanded spending, and the vacillating fiscal policy has also led to a worsening of the U.S. debt problem. At the same time, the Fed's high interest rate policy of continuing to raise interest rates has also made it increasingly unsustainable for the U.S. finances. The repeated selling political impasse in the U.S. over the past 20 years, which has been resolved until the last minute, reflects a deterioration in governance, that is, a steady deterioration in U.S. government's standard on fiscal and debt matters, which has eroded confidence in its ability to manage its finances. Francis also singled out Capitol Hill riots early 2021 as the stark example of the U.S. government deteriorating governance, which reflects the U.S. government's instability. He also said that the political polarization in the U.S. and the intensification of the Democratic and Republican parties were also one of the reasons for Fitch's downgrade. Francis stressed that the Fed had held several meetings with the U.S. Treasury Department before the actual downgrade, during which it had communicated with the U.S. officials on related issues. Credit ratings downgraded U.S. stocks closed down across the board. On the 2nd local time, affected by Fitch's downgrading the U.S. credit rating, the 3 major indexes of the U.S. stocks closed down across the board. Among them, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 348.16 points, or 0.98%, close to 35,282.52. The S&P 500 fell 63.34 points, or 1.38%, to close at 4,513.39. The Nasdaq Composite Index fell 7,710.47, or 1.17% to close at 13,973.45. Bill Ackerman, founder and CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management, said his firm is shorting long-term U.S. Treasuries and expects the 30-year yield to soar to 5.5% soon. Given the structural changes could lead to higher levels of long-term inflation, including deglobalization, higher defense costs, the energy transitions, growing benefits, and greater bargaining power for workers. I've been surprised that long-term interest rates in the U.S. remain so low. Ackerman posted on social media, I'd be very surprised if we didn't find ourselves in a world of sustained 3% inflation. From supply and demand perspective, long-term treasuries also took overbought, with $33 trillion in debt, a massive deficit, and higher refinancing rates. The supply of tea is sure to increase. When you combine new interest with QT, it is hard to remember how and imagine how the market could absorb such a large increase in supply without a significant increase in interest rates. Thus, the long-term inflation is 3% instead of 2%, and history remains the same. And we can see the 30-year yield equals 3% plus 0.5%, which is real interest rate, and 2% equals the term premium, which is 5.5%, which will happen soon. There have been so many times in history when the bond market has repriced long bonds in a matter of weeks, and that seems to be one of them. That's why we're shorting 30-year yield US Treasuries. Firstly, to hedge against the impact of rising interest rates on long-term Treasury on the stock market, and secondly, because we believe this is a high probability independent bet. Few macro investments still offers reasonably possible asymmetric returns, and this is one of them. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next episode.